was okay with just love and, you know, going to church and having a family, going to work and raising kids. And
You
I was
feel like you
I
wanted
want more.
way more. Yeah, I get
more.
that.
And I shouldn't feel bad for wanting more.
Did you feel like you knew y'all weren't on the same page before you walked down the aisle? So why'd you do it?
Women dishonest?
Are they dishonest?
Yeah.
That's a woman's nature. Ask Eve. First woman in the world. Yeah, that's their nature.
You just have to accept that.
Well, you don't accept none of it. It's your job to keep them in line.
All right, what's good, YouTube? It's your man, Book of AlphaRonomy, a.k.a. Dr. BOA. Yep, I got time today. When a woman is younger, she's so vibrant, and she's wide-eyed like a doe caught in the headlights. There's just so much promise for her life. And the biological clock, it's not even ticking that loudly. Then, around 28, 29, 30, suddenly, she starts to hear a sound. The biological clock is ticking. All of a sudden, she ignores her life and starts to complain about all of the men that she chose that she knew weren't going to wife her up. But now she complains that they didn't wife her up. Now the men are the problem.
Living with a man seems like a real life horror film. Like, I would work 3 or 4 jobs to not live with a man. Like, why would you willingly live with a man if you don't have to? God, no. Even if you are married to him or in a relationship with him, there's just no need to live with him. I know it's expensive and I know it costs a lot to live, but I would do everything in my power to not have to live in the same house with a man, because the amount of videos and comments that I see about women being sick of living with these disgusting men is just... They go in the kitchen and they leave all the cabinets open and it's crumbs all over the countertop. And if they do cook, it's grease and seasonings all over the counter and the floor. And they half wash the dishes and pee all over the toilet seats. And when they get out the shower, it's water all over the floor. And they don't put their clothes in the dirty clothes hamper. They put it beside the dirty clothes hamper. Like, oh my God, no.
She doesn't own up to the fact that all of the men that would have wifed her up and put her on a pedestal, that she ignored those men. Why? Because she thought she was too good for them when she realized she wasn't good enough for the guys who just ran through her. They parted her and discarded her.
These men don't be lame when y'all are with them. These men don't be bad dads and horrible boyfriends and husbands and he never bought me anything. I was the one paying all the bills. That's not what y'all be saying when y'all are in relationship with these men. But the moment that these men leave because they're tired of your mistreatment, they're tired of your poor character, you're cheating, whatever it is that these women be doing to these men, the moment that these men leave, then y'all want to assassinate these men's character.
Enter B. Simone.
Yeah.
You were married?
I was married. I was a married woman.
What? How long were y'all married?
Not long, probably 2 years.
Okay, okay.
Such a great guy, amazing guy, but we just didn't want the same things in life.
Okay.
He was okay with just love and, you know, going to church and having a family, going to work and raising kids. And
You
I was
feel like you
I
wanted
want more.
way more. Yeah, I get that.
And I shouldn't feel bad for wanting more.
Did you feel like you knew y'all weren't on the same page before you walked down the aisle? So why'd you do it? What was the reason?
That's a lot of pressure.
Okay.
When a man proposes to a woman, that's a lot. And in front of people...
I didn't want to let my community down. They thought this was beautiful.
Look, I gotta say yes. After that situation, I'm gonna tell you what you don't want to hear. Because someone should have told me.
Oh.
And I'm not gonna put that responsibility on them. But if someone would have been like, hey girl, you're not even happy right now.
He was happy.
Yeah.
Man.
And that makes it harder.
Yeah.
You know, because you're like, you have someone that loves you. But at the end of the day, love is not enough.
It's not enough.
It's not enough because love is a choice. Are you going to wake up and do the work?
Every day.
A few moments later.
Women dishonest?
Are they dishonest?
Yeah.
That's a woman's nature. Ask Eve. first woman in the world. Yeah, that's their nature.
You just have to accept that.
Well, you don't accept none of it. It's your job to keep them in line, you know, because you got to lead by example. Yes. I don't care how you do it. Don't think you're smart enough to scare a woman and she's going to get scared not to do it again. She's going to keep trying.
Absolutely.
That's their nature. So you have to stand on these P's for real. And a lot of them to be out there representing P's.
Bullshit.
Man.
Now, we've heard her ups and downs and all the things she's gone through. First, she was a boss chick because men won't do this.
You know what type of man you have to be for a woman like us to allow you to lead? Talk about that.
That's the real issue. I don't
Talk about
trust
that.
them
The thing
to
about
lead.
it is,
that's why I'm fucking
quiet
hiring
as-
a chef and I'm out here getting it.
Quiet
I
as
can't
kept. Quiet as kept. We would. I would bet my money we would succumb to it all for a man who could lead.
You're right.
I would bet
You're
money
right.
on the fact that I think if we were presented with the opportunity to be with a man who was just a man in every way, who just
Follow
just
God.
was that, and that was, and his
Yeah.
only request
his-
was like
his purpose.
stay home and just watch the kids and make some food. It's nothing more than we want than to be comfortable in our own femininity. Our masculinity is a defense tactic.
Yep.
For whenever we feel threatened,
Being
or
like,
we
I got
feel
it.
like, or we
I'll do
feel
it.
overwhelmed, or we feel not protected, or we feel not loved, or not seen, or not heard, is when we have this defense mechanism where we're like, "Hey, yo, bro, I'm not, nah, fuck out of here," like, and we get all tough, and I got it. You don't got to do nothing. I got it. You're not gonna do this. That's cool. I'm gonna get this money, and I'm gonna do this, that, and third. So you don't have the time.
Yeah.
But if a man really came in to your world and made you comfortable, like, listen, you don't gotta do that. You ever had a man like, yo, fix your face?
Then I'm not a boss chick. I'm going through things.
It's my finances. Like, we were in Bloomingdale's yesterday. I'm like, we have to go to H&M.
Then, men ain't this. And then I want a husband.
Everything I have, my dream career, I manifested it. I'm trying to manifest a husband. Ain't nothing wrong with a 9 to 5. I get it. They work hard. I used to have a 9 to 5. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong. You work hard, you have money. I get it. I need an entrepreneur.
And then all of these crazy things. Now, she has decided that marriage wasn't for her after all. And she's enlisted the help of women who had the perfect marriage and just dipped away from it. Why? Because they got tired of putting on an act like they were wife material. The majority of women are not. So some of you men have wives who should have been single all this time, like B. Simone.
Tell us the truth!
Crazy to me how many men still believe that traditional marriage is something logical. It doesn't make sense. And I like to say sometimes that the men who've had wives for 15, 20 years, maybe they have a point, maybe they're in a good situation. Man, a lot of those guys, if they had to do it all over, man, they wouldn't. Get them behind closed doors and ask them if they do it. If they had to do it all over again, they wouldn't. If you tell those guys to look at themselves right now, where they are right now. If you were single right now, would you marry a woman? And the majority of those guys are going to say no. But once you build from ground up and a woman is there with you, you kind of feel stuck with her, right? Unless you're prepared to just give her half of everything. I reference Michael Jordan all the time. He was worth $300 million, divorced his wife, gave her $150 million. Now he's a billionaire because he decided that his freedom was worth more because he had a plan for his life. A lot of these guys, they don't have a plan for their life, so they just keep their wife even though they don't want the broad in their life anymore. And then they go out here and they brag and try to, convict guys who wouldn't, man, well, if you can't be faithful to your wife and all of that, then I can't respect you. Hey, man, that's fine. Coming from a man who, if he had to do it all over again right now, wouldn't even marry a woman. See, I want y'all to understand something. When you hear women like this talk, you got to understand that a woman will do what's necessary to put herself in a better situation, to improve her plight in life. But once the stress, whatever she was going through is gone, man, she gonna turn back into her true self. A woman that's doing bad financially or a woman that's going through it emotionally seems like the sweetest woman in the world. I mean, man, boy, you feel like you got yourself one until she's not in financial stress anymore, until she's not in emotional duress anymore. And then you get the calm, confident version of her. And the calm, confident version of the majority of these modern women is a scallywag. You understand me? Straight up scallywag. So many of these women, they shooting bad. They ain't did nothing in their life that's gonna make them no money. They lazy. They're not focused enough to do anything. But they're not loyal enough to be a wife. So what do? They find some sucker who gonna wife them up. They wife him up, stay long enough, then they divorce him and they get some paper. And you may say, well, black men ain't got no paper. Okay, well, black women ain't got no paper either. That's beside the point. What I'm saying is somebody who got zero, $100,000 is money to them, right? To somebody who got zero, being able to marry a man and divorce him and have that man pay her $5,000, $10,000 a month, man, she on easy street. That's what men don't understand. A woman will do whatever she has to do in order to survive. And the more dire her straits are, the more willing she's going to be able to do to cross any line. That's why they get into this witchcraft. They get into witchcraft because they got to assure themselves of a position with the man that they want to be with. And they got to make sure that nobody else can take him. They want to lock you in, but not lock you in. They want to lock your resources in. If you're a caterer, they want to lock you in. And I don't mean a food caterer. I mean a fool caterer. She going to lock you in. Because the majority of women have such low self-esteem that the wedding day is the first time that they ever felt very confident in their lives. That's the first day. The most confident the majority of married women have ever felt was on their wedding day. They don't feel confident like that any other time. For that day, she's the queen of the world, and most women want that. They grow up with that ideology. Now, you go to other cultures, and even in this culture, decades ago, women grew up wanting that because it was their fantasy for their life. They wanted to be a wife. They wanted to be a mom. They wanted to have the White House with the white picket fence. They wanted to have the dog run around in the yard, a couple of family cars, and send the kids off to college and they wanted to do all of that. Now, these women's vision for that shit stop at the wedding. After the wedding, she want to go back to her life. That's why they don't respect the vows. That's why they don't respect marriage. Once the wedding is done, hell, she don't want the rest of it. But the only way to get to the wedding is to accept a proposal. So a woman will accept a proposal from any dude. The majority of y'all married to a woman, man, that's fantasizing about sleeping with somebody else right now. That's why these women want to marry a man who ain't all about sex. What's the number one thing a woman tell you? I talk to guys a lot of time, man. They be talking about these dating sites. The number one thing they say a woman says, I'm not here just to be having sex. I ain't looking for nobody to just jump up and down on me now. If all you want is intimacy, you need to go somewhere else. They already trying to vet for the guys that ain't gonna press them about sex because they already got somebody they want to have sex with. It ain't you. They want a man that's going to take care of them and provide for them and care for them and love them and put them on a pedestal. And then they want another man that's going to do everything sexual. That's what they want. Now, you're their husband. They're not going to be able to have access to the man they want all the time. So you'll be able to get you sometime when you hear a dude talking about, man, when I get head on my birthday. On your birthday? That's when that come once a year, big dog. That's when you get it. But many married men don't get loving from their woman because the woman does not like them like that. You're safe, you're stable, and that's what she wants. But it don't tie into her physically. Most times, a woman is not married to the man she has the strongest physical desire for. She's just not. And so your wife is just one meeting away from falling weak for the man that she can't control herself with. And I'm telling you this because I am that man for a few women in my life that I've known. And I'm telling you, if I was the man to cross that line, I could cross that line whenever. It wouldn't even matter because I'm telling you, that man that woman desires is always gonna be the one she desires, bruh. I've seen this happen, man, where people met, man, when they was in high school, man. Now they be in their 40s and 50s. And whenever they're in close proximity, they just get in the car and ride off together. They say, who knows how long they stay gone? Who knows what they do? But they see each other. They just get in the car and ride off together. They just got to go be together. And I'm telling you, sometimes both of these people be married, man. Or one of them. I'm telling y'all, man, y'all got to start understanding the reason why a woman can throw this shit away is because it has no value to her. Stop giving women things that they don't value. They don't value marriage. They value proposal. They value wedding preparation. They value wedding day. After that, they only value honeymoon. And the next thing they value after honeymoon is alimony. In a woman's mind, marriage goes from honeymoon to alimony. In your mind, it's some lifetime shit. So you investing and dedicating yourself to it for a lifetime. Now, will you have another woman? Yes, you may have another woman, but she ain't your wife. This woman right here is on the pedestal. She living in your house. She living off your money. Man, listen, bruh. Just because you have another woman somewhere else, that ain't got nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you don't have any plans on leaving your wife, but your wife always has plans on leaving you. Remember that. And you'll go a long way with not being a sucker for the broad, like your boy Offset was to this woman who says this about him. All right, I'm done with this one. Like this video on your way out if you enjoyed the content. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. When you subscribe, click that notification bell. Make sure your notifications are on so you can be alerted to when I upload some more of this Prism of the Ism. And as always, Alpha's up, Beta's down. Peace.